So your life sucks right now, or at least I'm assuming it does because you clicked on this video. Perhaps you were heading in a good direction. You started to create new productive habits, but all of a sudden you found yourself in a dark place again. Or perhaps your whole life has been a downward spiral into a rut. And I can relate because a little over a month ago, I found myself in a rut again. I had made so much progress on myself, and all of a sudden I was back in this dark place. I ate junk food, spent all day on YouTube, and my room was a mess. And I was feeling worse and worse about myself every single day, but I managed to get my life in place. And it's actually a lot simpler than you might have expected. And these are the 6 steps I used to get out of a rut. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. This was the first real hard test in my life. I had so much stomach pain. I was in and out of hospital. I needed surgery. The doctors needed to remove a swollen part of my intestine. And when they had removed the intestine, the doctor could barely stick his pinky through it. It was that swollen. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because my dream was to join the military. I didn't want to study or anything like that. I hated school. So my plan was to join the military. But because I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I was no longer eligible for the military. I was heartbroken and crushed. And you might have something terrible happen to you. You might have a reason for why you are where you are in life. Maybe you had a tough upbringing, or maybe you're from a poor country. Maybe you had disadvantages the people around you didn't have. Maybe you got bullied when you were younger. Maybe you lost someone you loved. All these things are valid and could be the reason for why you're in a rut. All of us have a reason for why we're not where we want to be in life. But if you want to change your life, you have to let that go. These are the cards you're dealt. The only thing you can do is to play them to your advantage. Yes, it might be more difficult for you, but that's good. If it's harder, it's more rewarding. It's more inspiring. If you can do it, you can prove to other people that they can do it as well. You can make them believe. That's the first step. You have to stop blaming the circumstances for where you are in life. It has led you to where you are right now, and there are people with far worse cards than you, achieving way more. You are in a difficult place right now, and your future does not look bright if you keep going in the direction you're headed in. You need a different vision of your future, a great future, a future you want. Without it, you won't make it. Yes, you might improve for a couple of weeks, but when the motivation is gone, you'll fall back into your old self. You need a strong reason for why you're making a change, because it's hard. It's really hard. It's easy to do nothing. It's easy to stay the same. It's easy to watch Netflix. It's easy to eat the junk food. It's hard to change your life. So in order to do something, you need a strong reason. Why do you want to improve yourself? What is the future you want? What do you gain from leaving your comfort zone? What is the future you want? I want you to journal about this for like 5 to 10 minutes. Ask yourself what your dream life looks like. Not what social media wants you to want, but what do you actually want? Come up with as many good reasons as possible. What car do you drive? What job or business do you have in the future? What does your life look like? Imagine everything in detail. The more specific you are, the better. You're probably getting quite excited right now because you have the opportunity to change your life. This is a brand new start for you. And in order to do that, we need to become a different person, because the person you are right now is not capable of achieving that. You have to destroy that version of you and become the guy that's capable. We have to create a new identity for ourselves. Because right now you probably view yourself as a fat, out of shape, lazy loser that plays video games. And to you, that's who you are. And if you keep viewing yourself as that guy, because no matter how much you improve, to you, that's who you are. And of course you'll quit. You'll never achieve more than you think you're capable of. And the way to create a new identity for ourselves is through action and self-talk. And you might think self-talk is this wishy-washy bullshit. It's not. Just imagine you had a friend, and every time he saw you, he would tell you how fat, lazy, and ugly you were. That would destroy your confidence. And even if you weren't those things, you would eventually start to believe it. It's the same when you say it to yourself, except you do it 10 times more. No wonder why you hate yourself. You have to stop talking shit about yourself and start talking to yourself as if you were helping a friend. And I'm not saying you should be delusional. Oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm the sexiest guy alive. You won't believe that, because at that point you're just lying to yourself. But when you see yourself in the mirror, don't say, oh my god, I'm so ugly. Tell yourself, oh, I actually look kind of good today. Or when you have completed a task, praise yourself. But more importantly, when you start to take action, you'll believe it more and more and more. When you read, start telling yourself you are a reader. Or when you work out, tell yourself you're an athlete. Or when you want to cheat on your diet, tell yourself you care about your body. You don't eat that shit. You have to combine action with self-talk, because without action, you're just bullshitting yourself. And without self-talk, you'll be that old version of yourself and you will eventually fail. I read my first full book at the age of 19. That's fucking embarrassing, bro. But I hated reading so much. To me, it was the most boring thing in the world. And back in 7th grade, we used to be able to pick our own books. Everyone would sit in class quietly and read. And I remember sitting in the back of the class and looking over at my classmates. They looked so invested and focused on the books. I wish that was me, but I would rather sit in complete silence and think about Clash of Clans rather than read a book. A book that I chose. Even though that was 9 years ago, my brain was overstimulated. I would play Clash of Clans, Minecraft, be on Snapchat. Think about how fried your brain is, scrolling social media, watching porn, playing video games. No wonder why you're depressed and have no energy. That's why step 4 is a dopamine detox and not a 24-hour challenge. This is for the rest of our life. We want to slowly decrease the amount of bad habits we do, the instant gratification. Because if you try to quit all the bad habits immediately, you'll most likely fail and give up. Most of us can't just quit every single bad habit straight away. We have to slowly decrease it. Let's say you play video games for like 4 hours every day. The first week, start by playing 3 hours every day instead. Then the next week 2. Because you would most likely be able to do that. That's not that hard. Then the next week, 1 hour every day, then 6 times per week, and so on till the habit is removed completely. And I'm going to give you some advice, and this is not like ordinary self-improvement advice. And some people might think, oh, you're a degenerate, you play video games 1 hour a week. But find the instant gratification that you enjoy the absolute most. If that's video games, I recommend that you set 1 or 2 hours at the end of the week when you're done with every single task. I think it's fine to play for 1-2 hours on a Saturday or Sunday when you have completed your tasks. But don't cope and play video games every day. It's fine to play 1 hour, 2 hours every week if that makes you happier. Do the reduction with all your bad habits. And you'll probably fail many times. And that's fine, because this is a lifetime process. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. So when you fail, don't get angry with yourself. It will only make things worse. So when you fail, that's okay, but just try to learn something. Don't fail the same way twice. And go again tomorrow, because that's the beautiful thing. Yesterday I was a degenerate. The only productive thing I did yesterday was to go to the gym. But today is a brand new day. I woke up early today and I've worked for a couple of hours now. Yesterday is in the past. The present moment is the only thing that matters. Every day you have a blank slate, an opportunity to have a great day. Now the fun part begins. You literally get to design your own life completely how you want it. If you do the dopamine detox right, this will actually be fun. If you don't do the dopamine detox, this will be impossible. So when you slowly remove the bad habits, you'll get more free time. And if you don't use that free time on something productive, you'll start doing the bad habits again. We have to create new productive habits. Exercising, reading, meditating, journaling, starting a business. You should exercise to improve your body, your health, your looks, and your discipline. You should meditate to improve your brain power, your focus, your clarity, and your willpower. Reading to improve your knowledge. You can literally learn from the wisest men that have ever lived for like 10-15 bucks. I'm now 20, soon to be 21, and I've read and listened to around 20 books and audiobooks since when I first read my full book at the age of 19. I have learned more in the last 20 months from reading books than I did in 13 years of school. You're just dumb if you don't take that opportunity. Journal to live a happier and more grateful life, to understand yourself better. Business or study to go where you want in life. But how do we implement them? Start very small. We have to build a habit of doing the thing before we can increase the difficulty. Start by going to the gym for 5 minutes. Read 1 page. Meditate for 3 minutes. Then when you have built a habit, start increasing the duration. You have a vision and a goal, but you don't know if you're going in the right direction before you arrive. That's where a habit tracker comes in. It's a visual reminder that you actually are making progress, even though you might not have seen it yet. Seeing your progress is incredibly fun and rewarding. It's also very motivating. Grab a piece of paper and write today's date on the left side. Then write the dates of the following 4 weeks underneath. Write, meditate, read, journal, and exercise. These are non-negotiable. You can add more if you want. Then when you have done the habit, simply mark an X or color it out. This will give you a small win and you'll want to do it again. And it should not be hard to fill out the habit tracker. It's not like you can only do it when you have exercised for 1 hour. Reading 1 page is enough to fill out the habit tracker. We want the barrier of entry to be as low as possible. We just want to gain some momentum. Creating a daily streak will give you the motivation to not break the chain. And maybe you start by reading 1 page, but you end up reading for 30 minutes instead. You now know everything you need to know to get out of a rut. You just need to take action. If you want a more in-depth guide to creating new habits, watch this video.